just out of curiosity, played a team sport as a kid, or even like in high school? Oh, all right, good majority. So hopefully draw some interest then. So today the purpose of this speech is to persuade you guys, which most of you probably already agree with me, but that kids participating in sports as they're younger and as even they grow up in high school is beneficial to them, is going to make them more successful in life. The idea of this, I want you guys to know that kids who participate in team sports are more likely to develop positive personality and characteristic traits, and also it helps them obtain the right amount of exercise needed each day. When growing up, fitting in is probably one of the hardest things for a kid to do. In a young kid's mind, things are simple. They just want love and acceptance from their family, their friends, their peers. And in a case that this might not occur, it could prove to be almost detrimental to a child. One of the most effective ways to prevent that from happening is for parents to encourage kids to participate in sports. So, Cullen, if you would. So, I got 3 main points about this. Kids who participate in sports are more likely to develop positive personality and character traits, as I said, obtain the proper amount of exercise, and are less likely to feel isolated. So, go ahead. And to start off with this first point, developing positive traits. And there are 3 subpoints in this. And the first one is discipline. Kids learn that things aren't always going to go their way all the time, and they learn to respect their peers, says Ross Morrison in his article, Benefits of Team Sports. Ross also says these experiences that kids have in playing team sports influence them throughout their lives, such as when it comes to working for a boss or respecting police or other authority figures. Now on to the next topic, sportsmanship, which is a very important trait to have and is one thing that is taught throughout kids' career in sports. According to Kids Health, good sportsmanship teaches children the importance of respecting coaches, respecting fellow teammates, and even respecting the players from the opposite teams. And another important positive trait, which I think is maybe the most important, is accepting the fact that they're not always going to win and that losses are going to come. I believe it's really important in a kid's life that they understand that even when they face adversity and maybe fall in a game where they worked hard and prepared hard, but they still failed ultimately, and they learn to persevere and move on and get better. And so, in saying that, these 3 lessons and principles are vitally important, but however, making sure that kids get the proper amount of exercise is definitely a big issue today. Obesity in kids is at an all-time high in our country. Proper amount of exercise for a kid to receive, according to Sarah Apotenko, is 60 minutes of physical activity per day. Another important figure, David Haggart, head teacher of the physical education department of South Sydney High School, he says, "It's satisfying as parents to know that your kids are getting fit and healthy instead of just playing games or watching television." And so, as this exercise is very important, as well as the characteristic traits that you learn, I believe the third and the most important aspect of this is that kids learn how important family time is. And growing up in my house, of course, or especially, it was my brother, my sister, and me, all 3 of us played sports, and it definitely benefited our relationship with our family. My parents, my grandparents all loved watching us play and were always cheering us on and pushing us to do better. And so, as I said, all the previous things I've mentioned are important, but I believe this one is the most important because you get that extra family time and also you make lasting relationships with your friends. And the fact that it's just simply more time and another reason to spend more time with your family. Also, like, if a parent can take their kid out in the front yard and play catch, or to the soccer field to practice drills, etc., any of that is going to give the parents the opportunity to teach maybe a life lesson or a value that might come up. And so that extra time is vitally important. And the last and probably the most important is the children are less likely to feel isolated by their peers. If you would go on to the next one. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, back. It was the second one. Kids develop friendship and camaraderie, a sense of belonging and team membership, and also social interaction skills. So lastly, team sports give kids the opportunity to overcome shyness by putting them in an environment where they have to communicate and talk to other kids and coaches. So they learn many social interaction skills. And in conclusion, I'd just like to bring up a quote from Patrick Cohen. He is a Harvard graduate, and he is the president of Up to Us organization. And he says, kids who participate in sports attend school more, are more community and civic minded, get into less trouble, and tend to be more successful in the workplace. Also, in his article, he brings up a study that was done on corporate leaders in our country, and it says that less than 20% of the corporate leaders in America were on the honor roll. However, 70 to 80% of these leaders were on sports teams as kids. So I believe that's even more of a reason for kids to participate in sports, and I believe that it puts them at an even bigger advantage to succeed in any aspect of life.